Jones. Welcome to another live stream watch-along reaction. Tonight we're watching and reacting to O&M FC versus Mount Pleasant FA in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup final first leg 2025. O&M FC contra Mount Pleasant FA en la Copa Caribbean de la CONCACAF final partido ida. Winner wins the trophy. Loser, they're going to the Champs Cup, but they don't win the trophy. Oh, and round of 16 berth for the champion. With that being said, the Defense Force Mount Pleasant, or Defense Force Cibao game ends 3-0. I guess. If I know, I saw Cibao scored a goal, but I guess somebody was offside. I guess. Sure. Guess somebody was offside. Let me see. Third place. 3-0. Somebody confirm that for me. Son, somebody confirm that for me. When you get here. Somebody confirm that for me. 3-0, I guess. With that being said, I don't know. With that being said, we're ready to go in this match. 3 watching now. How we doing? Starting 11 for O&M. We have Iratskel Bensu, the back four De La Rosa, Jean Trincado, Julin, Olagasasti, Mello, the midfield 3, Castillo, Matos, and Cuello, Harold Francetti, Julian Monterola, and Baez, the front 3. For Mount Pleasant, we have Chambers, the back 4, Phillips, Cummings, Ming, and Irving. The midfield 2 of Thomas, Anglin. The midfield 3 of Bailey, Walker, and Green. And up top, Warner Brown. So, a 3-0 win for Defense Force. I guess Cibao was offside in stoppage time. I guess. Okay. Kickoff delayed till 1916 local, 1816 Eastern time. So, I don't know if that was because extra time. It says 16. Okay, so it is what it is. With that being said, we're getting ready to go. We're here, and we'll get this game going. We'll be here till it finishes, but I guess it's the 16th minute of the hour. So be it. I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened. 3-1, but I guess there was an offside, so it's 3-0 for Defense Force versus Cibao. I don't trust CONCACAF scores until I see the score. After that Trinidad Bermuda fuck up, I can't trust shit. 3-0 full time. So, I can't trust shit. So, that is what it is. Matches shown only at full time. Cibao FC live score. $3-0 loss. Okay, they lost 3-0 to Defense Force. We'll go with it. Defense Force wins 3-0. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I'm going to get that. 3-0. Okay. So, we'll be ready for this game. I'll go, give me a second. They say the kickoff of this game is delayed till 20:06 local, 19:06 Eastern. Are you kidding me? So 6 o'clock. The game is delayed till 6 o'clock, and we just got to bullshit and all that. Is it raining down there, or is it a freaking power outage? I'm not sure. Let me see. So we just got to sit here for an hour and talk. You kidding me? Estadio Cibal, Santiago, Dominican Republic. Santiago de los Caballeros. So we have a delayed game. Where can I see the game? It's on FS2 Canada CONCACAF's YouTube channel, I would presume. Weather. Santiago de los Caballeros weather. It is not raining. It's not raining through there. Okay, so it's a power outage. It's a power outage they got to deal with and fix. There's a power outage at the stadium. That's why they're not playing. Okay. No problem. No problem, man. No problem. And I guess it was still 3-0 for Defense Force. 3-0 for Defense Force in the third place game. Yep. Offside goal made sure it was 3. Okay. So we just got to sit here and wait and then watch the game. So we're going to be on here for an hour without even watching a game due to a power outage, I presume. And light rain, light winds, but it doesn't look like thunder. It doesn't look like it's raining down there now. Okay. So more like 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock's the rain. So we can see how things are going. 3-0 for Chelsea earlier today in the Champions League, which I'm very happy about that. So an hour before kickoff, we are 40 minutes away from kickoff of this game. So no, it wasn't extra time. There's a freaking power outage at the stadium. 6:06 p.m. will be the kickoff. As far as we know, I'll keep refreshing, but as of now, it is still 6:06 p.m. Central is the kickoff. 3-0 for Defense Force. They won the first game 3-0. That should be enough. We'll see what happens next week. We will be suited up for next week. So we'll get going. They're showing a Copa America highlight show before that happens. Program alert. CONCACAF Caribbean Cup final, O&M FC Mount Pleasant delayed till 6:06 kickoff. They don't say why. I'm guessing power outage, from what I can gather. From what I can gather, power outage. Where can I watch? It's on FS2 in America, Tubi in Mexico, CONCACAF's YouTube channel in Canada, and outside of CONCACAF for the Central America, the Caribbean, it's ESPN and Disney Plus. So we watch. Saying not available in Canada on the YouTube. Well, it's not on One Soccer, as far as it doesn't say. CONCACAF's website doesn't say One Soccer. Now, that would be also something you could look into because they have the CONCACAF rights for the Champions Cup, but it's either that or their YouTube channel. I wouldn't think of anything else that would have it unless you just use a VPN. You could also do that. Set it to London and watch on YouTube. That wouldn't be so hard, but do with that what you will. All right. So it's either one or the other. Would have to be. Because I don't know what else would have CONCACAF rights, why they would split them. So it's either One Soccer because they have the Champs Cup rights, or it's YouTube because they don't want to put it on One Soccer. Other than that, use a VPN. Or if you want to watch on the FS2 stream, I think FS2 is on tvpass.org, so you could also do that. That's a good website for third-party streams. As long as it doesn't go down, I think I have one for a while. I'm going to guess power outage at the stadium. It doesn't look like it's a rain delay. It looks more like a power outage delay till 6:06 Central. So 7:06 Eastern. So it looks like a rain delay. Or not a rain delay, a power outage delay, but they should be able to deal with that. The fact it's not moving that quickly makes me feel like it's a power outage. It looked like a power outage, but it does not look like rain because I've looked at the weather. It's clear, and their best chance of rain is like 2 a.m. So in the Dominican Republic. So it's power outage. Has to be. Yeah, so 30-some minutes away, 40-some minutes away from kickoff. Power outage at the stadium that O&M's playing in, presumably. From what I can gather, because nobody's really talking about it, as always. Because, of course, why wouldn't they? First of all, see if it's moved. No, it is not. Okay. So, yeah, all I can really gather is power outage. It is 3-0 for Defense Force. Okay. Might as well just screw around with this AI mode thing here. I'm bored. So we're waiting for the game to get started. Kickoff delayed till 6:06. Okay, so it's still, we should be about to start. So this game starts at the same time as the next one does. Just weirdly that it wasn't supposed to, but it is what it is. Waiting for this game to get going. Well, it does make things easier either way. Ooh. Yep. Damn. Guaranteed. Defense Force of the Conc Champs guaranteed. It is Sabal, though, but we'll see what happens next week. But they're on a good position. Sun's probably celebrating heavily. Can't watch on YouTube in the US, though. Yeah, because it's on FS2. Games on FS2. None of these games are on YouTube in the US. Only the Central American Cup ones. Anyway. .606 is when this game starts. They're 3-week next level chef, really? For Christmas? Of course they did. Next level baker. Okay, that makes... What the hell does Gordon know about... Okay. Gordon's not a baker, but okay. If you ask me. Little BS if you ask me. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Waiting for this game to get started. We have kickoff at 6:06. So we're about what? 30-some minutes away. See if they've updated it. Nope. That's good news. The closer we get without that time being raised is a good thing. See, David Solis. No, I have not. I've been pretty damn busy outside of doing these streams. I've been watching my own videos to make the best of reels, so I ain't been watching many other people's videos yet. This is about the time of year where I ain't doing shit, but making the year-end best top 50 songs list. Made a little Christmas list. Watching sports and watching my own videos to make the best of reel. It's the year-end stuff, so I haven't really... No, I haven't. I watch his channel. I watch David Solis' channel. He has a good channel. I do. But I have not watched that video, no. No. Not because I don't want to. It's more that I have no time. You know? It's nothing against him, but I really have no time. It's most of my time's taken on focusing on things that I need to focus on. Plus, I mean, the move didn't help, you know, so. Lots of teams not being in the draw make for interesting matchups. I'm sure it'll be interesting. The tournament's always interesting, but I'm interested to see how the buys fall out and who the seeded teams are. That's why I'm interested in. I'm sure Forge will still be in the second pot. Look. Forge. Still in the second pot, Forge. Yep. 4 teams get by. 5 teams get buys. 3 are seeded. Yep. 3 seeded teams in the prelim round. 5 buys. MLS Cup, Leagues Cup, Liga MX's best team, best champion. Central American Cup, Caribbean Cup champion. I think we know who gets the bye to Liga MX's. Whoever wins the MLS Cup gets the bye. If New York City FC wins, they get into the tournament. Nobody else backfills. If LAFC, Vancouver, or Miami win, If San Diego, Vancouver, or Miami win, LAFC will backfill to the prelim round, and the team who wins the MLS Cup will become the round of 16 berth team. If Vancouver wins, LAFC would backfill, and a Canadian team would also backfill the Can Champ spot. Vancouver FC is already in as the runners-up because Vancouver Whitecaps got a round 1 berth through MLS. Oh, wait. No, there wouldn't be, actually. The 2 CPL teams are in. Shield and Champion. Vancouver FC are in the tournament by being the runners-up because Vancouver Whitecaps had already qualified through the table. So no backfill. It's just LAFC backfilling in the MLS spot that Vancouver gives up if they win the cup. Okay, there we go. So LAFC would be in. Toluca get the bye. Okay. Toluca get the bye. Makes sense. America does not. If they were to be campeón, America would have 4 teams. Vancouver Whitecaps, Vancouver FC, Forge, Ottawa. 4. And Vancouver Whitecaps could still be, because they were the better Liga MX's aggregate team of the 2 champions. They had a better aggregate record, points record. They were the only aggregate points record winning team, or the better one over America. America as a champion did not have the better points total. If they were bicampeón, they would have been in the round of 16 because they won both. But because they lost, Toluca had more points. Because let's not forget, America made the final as a 8th place team. They were a very low seed. They were a very low seed in the Liga back in May. So that points total hurt them for being the aggregate seed. Yeah. Aggregate round of 16 berth team, even though they won a championship. They had less points than Toluca. So Toluca, who had a pretty solid season, then an amazing season. Toluca is a very good team. What are you talking about? We're in the Champions Cup, Molino goal and assist. You still have a game to play. Yes, you have a 3-0 lead, but you're going to the Dominican Republic. Again, you still have the aggregate lead through 45 minutes, and it's like 3-1, 3-0 still, or 4-1 on aggregate. 4-1, 4-0 on aggregate. They talk shit. But again, give it some time. Wait. Don't talk shit yet. Toluca is a very good team. You should know you're a Toluca fan. There are no away goals and no. 3-0 lead away goals rule. Yeah, no, but there are no away goals in CONCACAF anymore. In any CONCACAF competition. So if it's 3-3, if it's 3-0 Sabao in Sabao, you go to extra time. Besides, it would have went to extra time anyway. No, Marcel's a Toluca fan. I guess he's being sarcastic. But it is still a 7:06 or 6:06 kickoff. Yes, it is. Okay, good. We should be good then. Since when? Since the Champions Cup became a thing. They changed the rule when the Champions Cup rebrand happened. Away goals in the Champions Cup don't count, so it's just whoever wins on aggregate wins on aggregate. If it's tied on aggregate, there's extra time. No away goals. Unless the Central American Cup and Caribbean Cup have a different rule than the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which would be crazy. No away goals. Turko Mohammed, he changed us for the better. He did. Turko, well, no, Ambris started to. Away goals is still a rule. So I guess it's different in both tournaments. That's just stupid. That is just stupid. Actually, no, I will not. That's just stupid. Okay. Okay, so the away goals rule will be used in this tournament. CONCACAF, you are so damn... Okay, no, away goals count in this tournament. My bad. They do. So why do they not count the freaking Champions Cup? Tied on aggregate, away goals rule will be used. It's still tied. The winners will be determined by penalty shootout. If the third place playoffs and finals, tied on aggregate, away goals will be used. If still tied, 30 minutes of extra time will be played without away goals. If tied after extra time, penalty shootout. Okay, so in this tournament, penalty shootout still counts. Hold on, did they change it here? $20.25. I could have sworn they didn't. Either way, Champions Cup doesn't have it. With exceptions in certain rounds, affecting many CONCACAF competitions, including CONCACAF Champions Cup. Okay, I'm confused. They change their rules every damn year. I swear to God. And Breeze took us to a final. He made us compete again. Fair enough. Again, CONCACAF is so... I could have sworn there was a Champions Cup that didn't have away goals recently. I could have sworn. Point is, I'm either mistaken or they change their rules every year. Then again, the year that we lost on penalties, Toronto, guess what? Straight to penalties. The next year, guess what? There was extra time in the final. So we got screwed because I think we would have won an extra time. So the next year it becomes a final with extra time, then penalties. They change their rules every year. Clown Confederation. I could have sworn. Maybe I'm wrong. I could have sworn 2023 and 24. 23 had no away goals. I could have sworn. That was the reason why I think Vancouver and Saprissa went to extra time, was because there was no away goals. Or Philadelphia Saprissa, my bad. Because there was no away goals. I don't know. They change their rules every year. That's why I read the regulations all the time. CONCACAF can never get it right. It's one thing then another. So I could have sworn. Maybe I'm wrong. But I could have sworn. Maybe I'm misremembering. I don't know. Kickoff at 18:06. As far as I'm. Yep, it still is. Okay, so we should kick off soon. They can never get it right. I agree, but what can you do? And the year before that, Cruz will beat Toluca in a final on away goals. Well, away goals were a thing regularly back then. That's not what I'm pissed about. I know you're pissed because that's your team, but I'm complaining about the fact that the year after we got screwed because we didn't have extra time, and I think Toronto had the momentum in 2018. If there was an extra time, we would have won before penalties. I believe that 100%. We had the momentum. We had freaking Chivas pinned back. We had the momentum. We would have scored an extra time. I believe that 100%. The next year, guess what? They bring back extra time in the final. We got screwed by the fact there was an extra time. It just went straight to penalties. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe I'm confused by every. Maybe I'm confused. There's a lot on my mind anyway. Maybe there's a lot on my mind anyway right now. So my mind is absolutely, the gears of my mind are turning just absolutely haywire. So, maybe that's why I got confused. There's a lot on my mind right now. In general. Since 2021, when my beloved Outlaws made it, I've always known there's away goals at extra time. Again, it doesn't help when CONCACAF changes their rules every year. And maybe I got confused with the Champions League. I don't know. And now that there's a couple of confederations that are killing away goals and all that, I don't know. Honestly, I feel bad that I'm getting confused because I shouldn't be. This is my forte. Why the hell am I getting confused? But hold on. All right. Oh, well, no, it's the finals, a single-legged tie, so okay. Okay, they did use away goals. I don't know what I got confused by. Holy shit. Okay, so yep, they've used away goals. They never took it away. I guess I got confused with UEFA. My bad. That was me getting confused with UEFA. Okay. That's my bad. They never took away the away goals in CONCACAF. That was just UEFA. Maybe maybe there was talk about it. I don't know. Again, there's a lot on my mind. And I'm bored. Cesar Luis Medel said Elias Montiel to Real Oviedo in January is close. I'm not surprised. Pachuca buying one of their players to go to Real Oviedo. Yeah, they've done that before. Honestly, at least he's going to Europe. Hopefully he keeps them up. Hopefully he keeps them up. You were right, yes. I was the one who got confused. I look like a jackass. Amazing. I hate looking like a jackass. So we're going Champs Cup, boys. Well, yeah, unless you don't score a goal in the Dominican Republic and you lose 3-0 through regular time, then you have to go to extra time, and then what happens there? Or you lose 4-0. If you score a goal, basically, if Defense Force scores a goal, they're going to the Champions Cup, yes. Because Sabal couldn't score a goal in Trinidad. If you score a goal, even though it was taken off by offside, but still, if you score a goal down there, you go on, pretty much. Defense Force just has to get 1 goal down there. Then Sabal would have to score 4. Just to go, well, actually, no, they'd have to score 5. They'd have to score 5 if you score 1. So, yes, score a goal, you're going to the Champions Cup, yes. Yes, you are. But you have to score a goal to be comfortable about it. Because if you don't, they score 3, you go to extra time. They score 4, you're out. So you have to score 1 to make them score 5. I don't care if it's early or late. Just get 1. All you got to do is get 1. Yep, we're going to get going. Teams are soon to walk out. Yep, the lights are back on. It was a power. I'll be back. Short break. We are back. Semis in the final. I reckon MLS team will win Champs Cup. I looked at the schedule. Semis fall in May, and that's when Mexican players will be concentrated prepping for the World Cup. Semis and finals. Yep. I mean, for a one-legged final, they might release, if the Mexican team makes it, they might release the players back for that. I don't know. With that being said, hopefully Vancouver doesn't make the semifinals, because I will lose my mind if they do. Starting 11s are as follows once again. You have a good point. I didn't realize that. You have a good point. Starting 11, Iratzkel Bensu, De La Rosa, Trincado, Olasagasti, Melo, Castillo, Matos, Cuello, Franzetti, Monterola, Baez. In the midfield, for Mount Pleasant, we have Chambers, Phillips, Cummings, Ming, Irving. We have Thomas and Anglin, Bailey, Walker, Green, and Warner Brown for Mount Pleasant. Game starts in a couple of minutes. Because of the rain delay, or the power outage delay. So we still get to watch the final, but an hour later. Which, ironically enough, next week the final starts at 6 instead of 5. So this time next week, the second leg will be starting. And this time next week, plus 2 hours, we'll know the champion. Exactly. So, good victory for Chelsea. Yeah, they did. They did. Defense Force won 3-0 in the third place match. First leg, and they very likely will go to the Champs Cup as long as they score a goal in the Dominican Republic. Sabal's not going to make the Champions Cup. Well, I said Defense Force was going to make the Champs Cup through third place the whole time until I made the predictions for this round. They're still going to make it. So I'm right on my full bracket, I guess, but not on my picks round if this holds. Teams are walking out. Here we go. The first leg of the final. O&M playing Mount Pleasant. Who would have thought this would be the final? Also, Ligia 2026 without national players. Well, it's going to be fun to watch then. Hopefully, some underdog story will happen. And we're going to see some team we didn't expect at the Champions Cup next, or 27. Here we go. Mount Pleasant wearing their yellow with blue stripes. O&M wearing their white with blue, or blue with white stripes. First leg of the final, second leg next week. Who will have the catbird seat? And away goals do count. Yeah. I mean, he was good. Okay. He's not the same as he used to be, though. He's turned a bit cocky. He's believing his own hype. He's got to humble himself a little bit, I'd say. Starting 11s. Still good, but he's got to humble himself a little bit. Gobensu in goal. The back four of De La Rosa, Matos, Olasagasti, and Melo. The midfield three of Trincado, Castillo, Cuello. And up top, we have Baez, Francetti, and Monterola for O&M, OEM. We're finally getting the final started, a 3-hour stream because of the rain delay. So be it. And we'll get going. Deleka from Aruba is the referee tonight. Here we go. Jurasevich is the VAR referee. Lucas Spala, the assistant VAR referee. 2 pro referees as VAR refs. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing. Estadio Cibao. Oh, there's the tree. Lovely. Starting 11, Chambers. The back 4 of Irving, Cummings, Ming, and Phillips for Mount Pleasant. The back 3 of Thomas. Front 3, midfield 3 of Thomas, Anglin, and Walker. And up top we have Green, Warner Brown, and Bailey for Mount Pleasant. Jamoy Topi on the bench, really? Oh, okay. That's an interesting thing. But we're about to get going. It's about to start. Partido Inicio en minutos. 2 minutos. We have a stream tomorrow of for Alajuelense Xelajú at 8. The good news about this game being the time it is, I could just make the stream for that on Rumble as soon as it is. It's the good news. Champions of CONCACAF about to return, first time since 2002. Well, Defense Force have won before, yes. Before you ever were a thought in your daddy's head. Hell, even before I was a thought in my daddy's head. That's when Defense Force won this tournament, Champions Cup. But at least, yeah, they'll have a Champions Cup number on their patch. Yeah, there will be a number on their jersey shoulder patch. Yes, there will be. Because they've won it before. That's going to be a wild sight. We have won twice, yes. Again, before you ever were a thought in your daddy's brain. But that goes for me as well. Huh. It's not me dunking on you. Unless you're somehow in your 50s. Which I assume you're not. And we're off. Playing forward. Well, yeah, you do have more in TFC. Even if we would have won in 2018, you have more in TFC. But how long that's going to stand? Well, that depends if TFC, if a certain Pirates called, that ain't going to last for much longer. If they don't, it'll last for like God knows how long. Probably till I'm dead. Let's be real. Free kick for O&M or Mount Pleasant. Free kick for Mount Pleasant. They're wearing their yellow. Enjoy it for how long you have it because, well, it depends. Yeah, right now TFC has 0 and you have 2, but depends if they make the right call. TFC will tie you very quickly in Champs Cups if they make the right call and then pass you. But if they don't, I don't think they ever will. So it depends. Over the top, wide. 0-0, 0-0. Well, the sad thing is, for you, is a certain pirate is Sir Alex. A certain pirate will be their Sir Alex. Just saying. You better, for your sake, you better hope they don't. For my sake, I hope they do. Ball crossed in. Header. For my sake and my sanity, I hope they do. For you, I guess, not. For your sake, I hope. For your sake, you better hope they don't. For my sake and my sanity, I hope they do. 2 minutes in, 0-0. Greg Vanney was Matt Busby because he actually won. There are only 2 Man United managers who were worth a damn in their history. Matt Busby and Sir Alex. Those were the guys who won. Greg Vanney was Matt Busby. If the pirate is called, there's your Sir Alex. Everybody else is jack shit. Everybody else in the history of that club is jack shit. I'm not saying Greg Vanney's awesome, but at least he won trophies that were more than a Canadian championship. He did win an MLS Cup. He almost won a CONCACAF Champions Cup. He won the team a star. Even if he's a shitty manager, Greg Vanney is the Matt Busby at Toronto FC. Where is it streaming in Jamaica? ESPN and Disney Plus. Playing forward, 314. But if TFC calls the pirate, then they found their Sir Alex. But I'll allow Greg Vanney to be the Matt Busby of our club. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I don't think he deserves to be even in that conversation, but he won a star. He should have won more. So he is, by default. Everybody in between Matt Busby and Sir Alex was shit. Everybody after Sir Alex was shit. Everybody before Matt Busby was shit. That's the history of the Man United. I didn't say I agree tactically with Sir Alex, but winning-wise, winning trophies-wise, except I think the difference is a certain pirate might just die in that seat instead of retire. Instead of retire. Who are the teams in Champions Cup? Maybe Molino returns home to Columbus, Minnesota, Orlando. Are they in? No, no, and no. No. Neither. None of them are. Orlando might be in by ranking. Let me check. Perfect. Let me check. Orlando might be in by Supporter Shield ranking. Playing forward. But I know Columbus and Minnesota are not. Columbus was not good enough and they didn't win a cup. Same with Minnesota. Here we go. Miami, Seattle, Galaxy, Vancouver, Nashville, Philadelphia, FC Cincinnati, San Diego. No. No. No, they're not. No, they are not. $6-11, 0-0. 0-0, settle. So none of the 3 teams Molino played for in the Champions Cup. O&M, Ottawa, champions. Well, MLS Cup in 3rd place, and they can't win. So none of those 3 teams can win the MLS Cup. And the team who would backfill if Miami, Vancouver, or San Diego win the cup would be LAFC. So no. Columbus, Minnesota, and Orlando are all not in the Champions Cup. No return home for him. And what pot will Defense Force get? pot 2 of the prelim round teams. If they're in, they'll be in pot 2 of the prelim round teams. Or if they'll be in pot 2, because that's, yeah. The round of 16 teams are already seeded. Shot, goal! And that's a goal for Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant scores to open the final. 0-1, cross in and popped in. What a shot. 0-1, 0-1. And that was Bailey. Bailey scores the goal. Wow. Ball crossed in. Shot. Oh, what a shot. Crane kicked the ball into the net. Lovely. That's awesome. Ball crossed in. That was Irving's corner. And it lands with Bailey, and he frickin' just Crane kicks the ball into the net. 0-1, 0-1. Defense, or Mount Pleasant leads. Kamoni Bailey with a goal. Opening the final scoring. Oh, that's a away goal, too. Just to be clear. That was an amazing goal. 8 minutes in. 0-1, 0-1. That was an amazing goal. What pot will Valor? You mean Vancouver FC? Valor FC is dead. The only pot Valor will be in is a grave plot. Because that club is dead. Vancouver FC will be in pot 2. The pots are ranked by CONCACAF rankings, so all the CPL teams will be in pot 2 of the prelim round. Some MLS Central American teams. Maybe there's a Central American team that's around one team that gets in pot 1. But I would assume all the CPL teams are in pot 2 of the round 1. Of course, there's also 3 seeded round 1 teams. That being, I think, the Liga MX, the top 3 ranked teams in the round 1 would be seeded already into a matchup. And then there's the rest in pots. Will you be live for the Champs Cup draw? Yes, I will be. December 9th. Yes, of course I will be. I always am. The only way I won't be, we won't go there. But I'm always live for the Champs Cup draw unless there's a way I can't do it. There's an emergency and I can't do it, but I presume that wouldn't happen. I would presume that wouldn't happen. Oh, God. Playing forward. 0-1, 0-1. I'm not. 11-10. I just saw something hilarious. That's all. Playing forward. We got 0-1, 0-1. Throw in. I say Mount Pleasant's been the better team recently. Partially. Or for the first partially of this game. Playing forward, Mount Pleasant. Here's a chance. They keep running. There's a run, and they cross the ball in. Here's a chance. Blair down the box. Could that be a penalty? No, it is not. As of now, they could check it on VAR, but they've slowed up, and let's see what they do. That might be. It's on FS2. Yes. ESPN in the Caribbean, Canada, One Soccer YouTube, rest of the world YouTube, Tubi in Mexico, 0-1. Mount Pleasant on the ball. Sometimes we go off topic. And if you're talking about the stream, sometimes we go off topic. My brain is a absolute gears turning, never stops, whatever the hell comes out thing. So it is what it is. 0-1, especially when things get boring. So if that's what you're talking about. Foul on O&M, Mount Pleasant gets a free kick. Whatever. 14:05. Throw in. O&M has the ball for a throw in. Mount Pleasant leads 0-1. 0-1. Away goal for Mount Pleasant. Seeing if they can hold on. That's a free kick for Mount Pleasant. Playing forward. O&M on the ball. I'd say Mount Pleasant's been the better team so far. As you would expect, I mean, they've won every game but one in this tournament. They had 12 points in the group stage. They won the first leg and won the tie in one leg against Defense Force. They did lose the second leg 1-0, but at home. But other than that, they've won 5 out of 6 games, and frankly, they didn't even really need to play the sixth game. They just played it because they had to. And so far, they're winning their 6 out of 7th game. Nil 1, 0-1. 6 out of 7th game. Okay, 0-1, 0-1. Mount Pleasant is probably the best team so far in this tournament. I would have said Sabal, but they're about to lose 3rd place as well. You can't be shit out of luck and not be in the Champions Cup and be the best team in this tournament. That's impossible. They've been beaten by Defense Force twice. Lightning is struck twice. And as long as Defense Force scores a goal next week, Lightning doesn't need to strike 3 times. They just got to score a goal to go on to the Champions Cup. Defense Force got beat, or Sabal got beat by Defense Force twice. And this time with their best 11. That's crazy. Like, that's just crazy. And now Lightning doesn't need to strike 3 times. It's just got to strike. It's already struck twice. Defense Force won 2-0 on the road at Sabal when Sabal rotated. on October 1st, the final game of the group stage. They play them again in the third place game at home. They beat them 3-0. Lightning is struck twice. And it doesn't need to strike a third time because as long as Defense Force scores at home, they're going to the Champions Cup. Unless Sabal scores 5. If they score a goal, Sabal would have to score 5 at home. That's going to be a mountain to climb, honestly. I think as long as Defense Force scores a goal, we're going to see them in the Champions Cup. So they don't even have to win next week. They just got to score 1 goal and not allow 5. They cannot allow 4. If they don't score a goal, they cannot allow 3 if they don't want to go to extra time. They cannot allow 4 if they don't want to lose outright. If they score a goal, they can't allow 5. Defense Force, though, if you're them, do you score early? Do you score if Sabal was making a big run? Do you score in between, like when they're at 2 goals, 2-0, and make them have to score 3 more and just break them that way? Or, I don't know. Or just defend the shit out of the game and hope it's 0-0, 1-0, and just walk away? I think you go for... So, we'll see what happens there. Playing forward, O&M. Canada, Mexico, USA. Wait, it's been so long. Okay, 0-1. You just missed the third place game, but okay. I missed you too. '20th minute, 0-1. Huh. Over the top. Player goalkeeper down hurt for Mount Pleasant. 21st minute, 0-1. Cero uno. Of course, Defense Force won 3-0 in the first leg of the third place game and pretty much won the tie. What's the score? 0-1. Mount Pleasant leads. 0-1. Cero uno. 22nd minute. 0-1, 0-1 esta noche. Playing forward. It's out for a goal kick. Nope. Wait. We'll see. Goal kick for Mount Pleasant, 24th minute. Well, you still have to score a goal next week. Come on now. Most likely. Yeah, you lead, but I'd say you still have to score a goal next week. Playing forward. Shot saved. Playing forward. More chances we see Messi and Trinidad or my boy, human son in Trinidad or Muller. Well, you got better chances of seeing Messi and Muller right now, unless as long as one of the three teams that aren't NYCFC win the MLS Cup, you could see human son in Trinidad as well. But you also have to see where the draw takes. And also, Miami could easily be a round of 16 team next year, same as Vancouver. LAFC be the only team that certainly will be in the prelim round, but also they'll all be in the first pot / seeded if they are round one teams. But I'd say if all three are in round one and not the round of 16, which I'd say at least two of them will be in the round one. I'm going to say that's probably as far as you get. I'd say out of 11 ties, 11-2, that's a 20, 30% something. I'm not good at math. I do not have the math neuro spicy. I suck at math. Now you're making me pull up a calculator because I have no effing clue. I can't do that in my head. 2 divided by 11. Let's just say 2 are in the round because Vancouver or Miami, it's more likely they win MLS Cup than San Diego. So one of Miami or Vancouver, if they're all three in the tournament, will be in the round one, and LAFC will be. So 2 divided by 11, knowing there's 11 ties. in the prelim round. 18% chance. An 18% chance. So just under 20% that it is. And that's for both. 18% chance that Defense Force gets Miami, Vancouver, LAFC. With 2 of them probably playing in round 1 and 1 of them playing in the round of 16. I guess there's an even lower chance that you get a chance to advance to the tie that has the one who went to the round of 16 as well. '29th minute. So 18%. And that was off a calculator, so you know it's true. Because God knows I couldn't do that in my head anyway. '30th minute. 0-1, 0-1. Saved by Gobensu. Mount Pleasant's been the better team, but good one. Playing forward, 31st minute. One 0, 0-1, 0-1. Playing forward, 31st minute. Mount Pleasant. 31 minutes. O&M FC. Playing forward. That's going to go out for Gobensu. Be a goal kick. Mount Pleasant got their goal, and now it's sort of calming down here. 33rd minute. What's the score? 0-1. Mount Pleasant leads. 0-1. Playing forward. Mount Pleasant has the ball. Loses the ball. They get it back. Ball crossed in. Shot. Blocked away. Shot wide. 34th minute. I thought they had some there. Playing forward, 36th minute. O&M. Oh, good tackle. Good tackle. Good tackle. Hey, you know what? Gotta respect it. I won't lie. Playing forward. Ball crossed in. Shot saved by Gelbensu. Goes wide for a corner. Playing forward. Only game tonight, NHL's Oilers Stars. Thanksgiving break. Corner. 38th minute. Corner for Mount Pleasant. Cross in. Oh. Playing forward, cleared away. Playing forward, 39th minute. Full slate tomorrow. Habs are at Utah, 0 on Thursday, bunch on Friday, back to normal. So the Leafs play tomorrow. Playing forward. Thirty-ninth minute. Clifford Thomas gets a yellow card. That's a save, and that'll be a goal kick, 40th minute. 5 minutes left in the first leg, first half of the first leg. Of course, Cavalier won the Caribbean Cup last year, so the trophy could stay in Jamaica if Mount Pleasant wins. Can O&M be the first Dominican team to win the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup? Because, of course, it's only been around for 3 years, the final year of 3. The final game of year 3. Of course, Surinamese, Robin Hood, Jamaica, Cavalier, Jamaica or DR with Mount Pleasant or O&M. Right now, it looks like Mount Pleasant. And so far, I think Mount Pleasant's been the better team. So far, I think they've been the better team. We have a game tomorrow. Alajuelense versus Xelajú. Xelajú versus Alajuelense. Xelajú looking to go back to back to back in the Caribbean or the Central American Cup. 3 Central American Cups, and it might just stay in Alajuela, Costa Rica. First leg is in Alajuela as well. Either we'll have our first new champion of the Central American Cup era, or Alajuelense will win it again. We'll find out. Of course, first leg is tomorrow. Second leg is Wednesday of next week. Suit day. Suit day Tuesday, suit day Wednesday. Playing forward, 42 minutes, 0-1, 0-1. Mount Pleasant over the top, brings down the ball, but it gets cleared. Gets picked up and will be cleared. Forty-third minute. 43rd minute, 0-1 still. Forty-fourth minute. Forty-fifth minute, 0-1, 0-1. Two minutes of stoppage time. O&M pushing. Mount Pleasant defending well, but they've had their moments as well to score a second, but they have not done so. O&M haven't really seemed to have many good moments. That's out for a goal kick with a minute and a half to go. .45, 1:30 of stoppage time. Soon to be halftime. The score is still 0-1. Mount Pleasant still leads. Player down hurt. 45 plus 3. The ref will blow the whistle. We're going to halftime. No, it's a throw-in. I was like, okay, my bad. Throw-in for Mount Pleasant. Should blow the whistle pretty soon, though. Horrible pass. Stolen by Mount Pleasant. Free kick. Nope, it's halftime. Halftime. Halftime, 0-1. Kamoni Bailey with a goal. 0-1. Miro tiempo. Esta noche. Kamoni Bailey, goleador de la partido. Mount Pleasant líder de la partido. Esta noche. Partido ida de la final. They lead the first leg of the final, and we have 45 more minutes to go of the first leg, and then we review the game once it's over. But Mount Pleasant looking like the better team right now. 45 more minutes. We'll take a short break at the half, talk about the stats, get this one going, sit tight. 45 more minutes to go. 0-1, 0-1. All right, we're back for the stats of the half. We got 48 or 49% possession to 52% possession. Because they round up. We round up here. 11 interceptions to 3. We have 0 offside to 0, 1 corner to 5. 192 pass to 206. We have 81% pass accuracy to 82% pass accuracy. 4 crosses to 5. 0 goals to 1. 2 shots to 10. 0 shots on goal to 4. We have 6 tackles to 10. 14 clearances to 8. 4 fouls to 5. 0 yellow card to 1. 0 red cards to 0. 0-1 at the half. 0-1 middle tiempo. For me, I think Mount Pleasant's the better team. They've had better chances. They've been better defensively. They look better in O&M. Unsurprisingly. They're doing a pretty good. They're having a pretty good away match. They're doing exactly what you would expect if you're the away team. In a match like this, they got their goal. They're defending very well, and they still have their moments to score more. O&M haven't really seemed to match up well to Mount Pleasant so far through the first 45 minutes. And I don't think they'll do much better in Jamaica once the second leg is played. I think Mount Pleasant's in the catbird seat, and they should easily maybe get another goal and easily probably put this final away by the end of the night. Oh, by the way, their goals and away goals, so that also helps. With that being said, Mount Pleasant's the better team in my book, and they're winning 0-1, 0-1 as of now, and we're waiting for the second half to start. I think they're doing very well. We'll review the game once it's over. We'll have the CONCACAF Central American Cup game tomorrow at 8. Should be a good one there. And, yeah. Prediction video for the MLS Cup playoff conference final on Thursday. Friday, we got the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. Waiting for the second half to start. Waiting for the second half to start. Mount Pleasant leading after 45. Another 45 minutes. Waiting for the second half to start. Waiting for this game to get going. Again, the second half. Mount Pleasant leading. They look like the better team. Very good away game from them. Second half, here we go. Here we go. Second half. Four to five more. And we're off. 45 more minutes of this match. And we will see what happens. Mount Pleasant being the better team so far. How we doing, Captain? How we doing? O&M on the ball. You still think Vancouver win MLS Cup? Yeah. I think their chances are better now that Philly are out. Playing forward. That's going to go back to the goalie. That's cleared away. .47th minute. Mount Pleasant on the ball. NYCFC's chances against Miami, low. Low. Miami beat the shit out of Charlotte. Or not Charlotte, I mean Cincinnati. I don't think NYCFC's that good. And I don't think Miami is as stoppable as Philly. I don't. Can't sleep on them. I personally think Miami wins 3-1. That's probably where I say 3-1 is no chance in hell. I don't look at 3-1 as a close defeat. So we look at things differently. It depends on how you lose 3-1, but in most cases, it's not a close defeat. I don't think it's going to rarely it's a close defeat. There are times where it can be, but rarely so. Rarely so, in my opinion. But playing forward. It's out for a goal kick, 50th minute. Playing forward, here comes Mount Pleasant. Could they score again? They might. Here's a chance. Ball crossed in, and that was a corner. That really, okay. Score, it's 0-1 Mount Pleasant. Here's a corner. Ball crossed in, headed away. Still 0-1. Mount Pleasant still leads. But here's a breakaway for O&M. Good tackle. Nope, they still have the ball. Ball crossed through, and that's out for a corner for O&M on the other side. Corner for O&M. 0-1, settle uno, 51st minute to the 52nd minute. Ball crossed in. They were even shocked. It was such a horrible clearance. Ball played forward. Oh my gosh. What a horrible corner. Horrible. Playing forward. Headed down. Chipped over. You think if Vancouver wins, Messi will have a performance? If Vancouver wins, yeah, the big guys don't do well for Miami, but that would be the MLS Cup, not the conference final. 0-1 esta noche, Mount Pleasant, líder de partido. La partido ira. Segundo tiempo. Mount Pleasant playing the ball forward. Playing forward. Ball crossed in, blocked away. Playing forward. 54th minute. 0-1. Playing forward, caught. Over the top. Can they run onto it? Yes, they do. Mount Pleasant has the ball. 55th minute. Shot saved by Galvensu. Do you think Atlanta beating Miami was a fluke? Yeah, but it was hilarious. Yeah, but it was hilarious. Playing forward, 56th minute. Champs of CONCACAF, you'll never sing that. Well, how about third place champions? You'll never sing that. Hey, unless you're talking about the Champs Cup, well, we won't sing that if a certain team doesn't call the pirate, but if they do call the pirate, we will be able to sing that. It'll just take about a year to get there, and then, win the first one, and then we'll win the next one, the second one the next year, and then we'll win a third one a year after that. But they have to call the pirate to do that. But I do have a funny feeling I just hope either way. It is a good name. It is a good name. Now, what I wonder, I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm not. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to leave that alone. Defense Force makes Champs Cup first time since 2002. This shit means something. It means something, yeah. You certainly ain't winning your third, though. I mean, I'll be happy for you if you do, but know you're there to make up the numbers, not win again. But it's awesome to be there, and if you win, awesome. I'm happy for you. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just that I'm being realistic. Y'all are there to make up the numbers. This ain't the 70s. This ain't the 80s. You're there to make the numbers. Huh. There you go. 2 substitutions. More history than Miami. Fair enough. Warner Brown's off for Raheem Edwards. '61st minute. 0-1. Free kick for Mount Pleasant. Hey, I'm not saying I don't want to see it. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it more in Vancouver winning the damn thing. I'd love to see an unexpected non-MLS Mexican club win the Champions Cup for the first time since the modern era started. That'd be amazing. And for the first time since 2005. I'd love to see it. I'd love to be proven wrong that y'all have a chance. I'd love to see y'all win. I'm not saying I don't. But again, the way football is in this confederation now, you're there to make up the numbers until proven otherwise. Yeah, that statement's going to bite me in the ass one day, isn't it? Here's a chance for Mount Pleasant. Shot, and it's in. Off a defender and in. Awesome. Awesome. That goes in. 0-2, Cerros. Mount Pleasant take a 2-0 lead from Raheem Edwards taking the shot. Was it going in? I think it was before it hit the defender. I think that's his goal. I'm not too certain. I think that was going on frame before it hit the guy. It would have went in on the near post if it didn't hit his foot. So I think that's a goal for, that should be Raheem's goal. Should be, yep, it is. Raheem Edwards' goal. Ola Sagasti off his foot and in. It's 0-2, Cerros. It's hilarious. Why are they checking now? Explain to me how that wasn't a goal. I don't understand how that wouldn't be a goal. VAR check. It's a good thing I didn't write anything down. Shit. VAR check for what exactly? Offside? Handball? Ah, handball. Did it hit his hand? I don't think it did. I don't think that ball hit his hand. No, I don't think so. I need a different angle. It did not hit his hand. No. It did not hit his hand. No, it did not. No, it did not. That would never happen in my lifetime. Hoping Forge or a Costa Rican team or a Caribbean team would go far and win. Exactly. So I don't think that hit his hand. I don't think that hit his hand. I don't think you could overturn it anyway, even if you wanted to. I don't think that hit his hand. I think that's a goal. Handball my ass! Like, maybe it scraped him. I don't think so. So it's back to 0-1 for Mount Pleasant. The Raheem goal does not stand. I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like they went to check it, but that's it wasn't clear and obvious. You can't overturn that. You can't overturn it. So be it. Well, Canada's Group B. USA's Group D at the World Cup. Also USA top general Trinidad. Well, shit's about to go down. That's my thoughts. '66 minute, 0-1, playing forwards O&M. Playing forward, that's out for a goal kick. Did you see Defense Force win? Yes, I did. Yeah. Dude, I have a shitty sleep schedule. I think I do watch the A-League, and it's on Paramount Plus, yeah. So, yeah, there's times I watch it. And I follow the table. I think it's a very solid league. Kind of reminds me of the MLS if it had Pro Rel. 68th minute. '68th minute. Former A-League team, Wellington Phoenix, I guess. Is that who's going to the OFC Pro League? '68th minute. Playing forward, cleared away. South Melbourne FC. Oh, okay. Playing forward. '70th minute. 0-1. Settle Wellington Auckland, the A-League. Okay, so they're both staying in the A-League. Okay. Playing forward, shot blocked away. Monterola off for Ramirez. Wellington, Phoenix, Auckland are Kiwi teams. New Zealand. Yeah, that's OFC. That's why I said Wellington, Phoenix, because they're in New Zealand. I knew Auckland FC were in the A-League, and they were doing well. I was thinking that Wellington, Phoenix had dropped because they are. Playing forward, over the top, 72 minutes. Perfect away game for Mount Pleasant. None too special, but perfect for the away game. The team presses like crazy. I've seen them play. I know. I know. I know. I was like, you said somebody dropped to the OFC Pro League in Australia. I'm like, so it must have been Wellington, because Auckland wouldn't drop that quickly. That's why I said what I said. But yes, they're New Zealand teams like the Canadian teams in MLS. They're New Zealand teams in the A League, but they can't qualify for the AFC Champions League because the OFC has New Zealand, unless New Zealand joined the AFC. But that would never happen now because either way, I was saying before you told me, I was like, well, I mean, it must be a New Zealand team that dropped because they're the OFC teams. South Melbourne FC. I know, but it'd be funny if an AFC team played the OFC Pro League and won the AFC Pro or OFC Pro League to go to the Club World Cup while being an AFC team in Australia. It'd be funny. It'd be funny if an Australian team who jumped to the OFC won the OFC Pro League and went to the Club World Cup for the OFC. That'd be hilarious. Melbourne's in Australia, though. But now they're in the AFC. They haven't been there in the OFC since 2006. So now you're just splitting hairs. Yeah, they started there, but they haven't been there in freaking 20 years. But I guess it works out because now we're just talking in circles now. And Neymar suffered another knee injury and will no longer play in 2025. Neymar's unlucky at this point. I don't think he'll be at the World Cup. Playing forward. It is massive, I agree. I'm just saying now we're talking in circles. Mount Pleasant going forward. 76 minute. I'd say they played a perfect away game. Forward. Raheem Edwards. Oh. Wide. Will the OFC League pass CPL? No. No. Because the CPL one has a head start, too. I think the CPL is still growing. 76 minute. Alex Marshall on for Kamoni Bailey, the goal scorer. Well, fair enough. Simon Cuello gets a yellow card, 78th minute. Playing forward, it is 0-1 still. 0-1, 0-1, Mount Pleasant. Mount Pleasant leads. Hey, buddy. But then 5-10 years, the CPL is going to be like 16, 17 seasons deep. CPL has like a 6-year head start. Should stay better. But then again, they don't have Saudi money coming in. The CS, Canadian soccer business and all that are idiotic. So you know what? You might have a point. Playing forward. Scary thing could be even sooner. Who knows? Fair. 80th minute. Player down hurt. 2 players down hurt in the box. Stadium's been built. New clubs, New Zealand. Players from Nigeria and African countries are coming in. It feels like the OFC saw what happened to Auckland City and they're like, never again. We will not be embarrassed like that again at the Club World Cup. I don't know what it really... And I guess these players also raise the level of football in the OFC countries, I guess, by playing against players who are from those countries. I guess that also helps them nationally as well, but it certainly helps them with their OFC club at the Club World Cup. I guess they saw Auckland City get curb stomped, and they're like, never again. I know it was in the works, but still, you know, it's ironic that Auckland City has nothing to do with it. They're still in the New Zealand League. And they can't make the Club World Cup or Intercontinental Cup if they're not in the OFC Pro League. So, I mean, if you have Saudi money, Jesse might do it. He's already in frickin' South Korea. Corner? Or is it? Throw in for O&M. Okay. Crossed in, headed away, 82 minutes. 83rd minute. I agree. Be cool for the Caribbean to do something like that. It's definitely helpful. The K-League is solid. Yeah, but I'm saying he could have went to Saudi. Like, what I'm saying about Jesse Lingard is he could have went to Saudi or the MLS just as easily. And he chose the K-League. It's not even like that gives much of a bag. Comparatively to the other two. Playing forward, 83rd minute. I'm not saying it isn't solid, but it's certainly... From what I've seen anyways. K-League is solid. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying you would think Jesse Lingard would go to MLS or Saudi over Korea. That was a crazy decision to me. Yeah. And also, like, CONCACAF. And also, Jack Warner was pretty much using the Caribbean for power during the FIFA scandal era. Watch FIFA Uncovered on Netflix. It's actually a really good documentary. Jack Warner basically used the Caribbean as power brokers. That's all he really did. Because let's be real, like, the FIFA Uncovered documentary talking about the Sepp Blatter corruption and the old FIFA Exco and all that, it's really focused on CONCACAF because Jack Warner legitimately horse traded the Caribbean's votes for a lot of corruption. He did. He did. He pretty much was the kingmaker, let's be real, of when FIFA Exco was so corrupt and all that. He was the kingmaker. Shit went through him. Because the Caribbean had so many votes because of how many small countries by size are in the CFU. And he was the president of CONCACAF, but Trinidadian president of CONCACAF, had the power in the Caribbean to whip those votes for givebacks and money and grifting, of course, and pretty much just controlled everything. And he never wanted to be president of FIFA because he was doing corrupt shit, but he still was the kingmaker. So, you look at it, and basically for a long time, the Caribbean was basically used as votes to back corruption when it came to FIFA and where the World Cup will go, and all that stuff. So it's definitely a thing to look at. The FIFA Uncovered documentary. Playing forward. It's on Netflix. I watched it, 3 years ago on Christmas or something? Or was that the World Cup documentary? I think it was Christmas. Over Christmas, like 3 years ago or something. If it's still there, it's a good documentary to watch. To binge watch. There's 4 episodes. 88th minute. Blocked away. 88th minute. And you know what? Good for him. It's a good thing to give every confederation a guaranteed spot at the World Cup. It would have sucked if they didn't get one. But I'll say, when you go to 48 teams or whatever, you better give them a spot, a full spot. I mean, he did the bare minimum. 48 teams at the World Cup. Yeah, OFC better have a full spot. He did the bare minimum, acting like he did a freaking service to the world when he did the bare minimum. And Gattuso's going to start complaining about it, isn't he? They don't deserve to be here. Gennaro Gattuso starts screaming, New Zealand doesn't deserve to be here. Italy deserves to be here or some shit. I'm surprised he didn't complain about that, actually. You know what? I kind of find that hilarious. I'm surprised Gennaro Gattuso didn't start complaining about New Zealand having a full spot at the World Cup. I'm surprised. Okay, so he did one good thing. He's still a corrupt bastard. So he did one good thing. He's still a corrupt bastard. Like, Gianni's a corrupt bastard, but just openly. And we thought Sepp Blatter was bad. Like, nothing's changed with FIFA. They're just even more openly corrupt. Like, it's so open that's like we can't do shit about it because it's open corruption. Like, isn't there laws against that shit? Corrupt son of a bitch. He's a corrupt son of a bitch. Okay, he gave OFC a full spot at the World Cup with 48 teams. Okay. The Club World Cup, the expanded Club World Cup was pretty good. I always liked it. The IC Cup still being around, cool. And there being a trophy for every match winner, pretty much, cool. But in most cases, the man is a corrupt piece of shit. Just because you do a couple of good things doesn't mean you're not a corrupt piece of shit. He is a corrupt piece of shit. I think both things could be true at once. I was trolling. I didn't say New Zealand didn't deserve to be there. I was trolling frickin' Gattuso. I'm even pissed off when Gattuso said what he said. But I'm legit surprised he didn't shit on New Zealand either. You know, Gattuso was being a jackass about, OFC team or CONMEBOL teams should have less teams going to the World Cup, or Africa should have less teams going to the World Cup. I'm surprised he didn't go after OFC. For some reason, he didn't go after Asia. Weird. Either way, I guess he meant the Americas when he talked about CONMEBOL as well. Also CONCACAF, I bet he meant. But he just talked about the Americas as one thing, because most people who are Latin talk about the Americas as one thing. And I guess he forgot the fact there were still 3 more CONCACAF teams in the World Cup that had to qualify. I guess he respects Canada, Mexico, and the USA, but either way. Well, good. That's like 4 good things for a corrupt son of a bitch. 92 minutes, 5 minutes to go. Well, I mean, FIFA's gotten honestly worse corruption-wise. It's just open. It's a dictatorship. FIFA is a legitimate dictatorship full of despots now. I don't know. I think I prefer the Jack Warner era at this point. I think I prefer the Jack Warner Sepp Blatter era at this point. I think I would. Shot. Yeah, they were corrupt, but at least they hit it. At least you were a crank if you said FIFA was corrupt until the freaking DOJ shit came down. They openly are just corrupt now. It's hilarious. The DOJ clamped down on FIFA, and they're even worse than they used to be. And Gianni got in on like, hey, it's kind of similar to his best friend, Donald Trump. Yeah, actually it is. Gianni Infantino got in to be the FIFA president by saying, I'm going to change everything and make FIFA great again. He proceeds to do even worse than the old administration. He proceeds to be even more of a swamp rat than the old swamp rats. What did Donald Trump do? He won in 2016 by saying, America first and make America great again. What did he do? Become even more of a swamp rat than the rest of the old swamp rats. Boom. Huh, that's kind of interesting. I can see why they're best friends. They're the same guy. They're the same guy. Boom. Sun set me off. But again, it's funny how similar Gianni Infantino and Donald Trump are when they got power and how much they turned their backs on what they were supposed to do. Bunch of liars. Absolute grifters. Honestly, I don't know if I prefer George W. Bush right now, but I would definitely prefer Sepp Blatter at this point. '90th minute. '96th minute. 2 minutes ago, 0-1. Settle Uno. Game's about to end. It's pretty boring. Mount Pleasant's played the perfect away game. They got a goal and they've defended pretty well, and they could have scored another, but that handball was a little bit questionable to me. Either way, let's not act like Gianni Infantino's a hero. He did a couple of good things. Hell, Swamp Rat Trump has done a couple of good things that were more common sense than anything else. But, you know, I'll say both of his terms. But still Swamp Rat. Shout out to 2013 Confederations Cup. Nike sponsored Tahiti. Headed away. Well, that's good. Does this trolley go to Tahiti? Does this trolley go to Tahiti? But no. I don't know what corrupts worse, openly corrupt or secretly corrupt. I don't know which one's worse. That's, if you're talking about Nike sponsoring Tahiti, that's a pretty big thing. 97th minute. Lost the score. 0-1, Mount Pleasant still leads with a however many stoppage time minutes the ref wants to give after this injury. openly because they'll be doing crazier things. That's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, you just got to look at what's going on right now in general. You got a point, actually. You have a point. Well, that actually is kind of cool. Looks like an Arsenal shirt, but it's kind of cool. 98th minute. Seven out of 10. It's not bad. Not perfect, but not bad. And it's full time. 0-1, 0-1 esta noche. Mount Pleasant ganador esta noche, partido ida. They lead going into the final, the second match, the second leg, 0-1 for Mount Pleasant. They scored the 8th minute, and that's all they needed. That's all they needed. Good defensive game, one offensive goal. They got what they needed. There you go. They got what they needed out of it. Let's see. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, it's on FS2. Well, that works. Okay. With that being said, if you like this stream, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send some chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put this in playlist. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. Our first legs of the Caribbean Cup have been finished. Defense Force wins the first leg of third place. Mount Pleasant wins the first leg of the final. They'll play next week on a suit day to decide the champion and the third place playoff winner. And then tomorrow we have the CONCACAF Central American Cup final first leg. Alajuelense versus Xelajú. Live and review. That's it for tomorrow. And I will see you within the hour for the review of this match. And I'll see you tomorrow for Alajuelense Xelajú, 7:55 Central, 8:55 Eastern. See you later. I'm Ron and I'm out. Peace. See you.